Onigiri is the ultimate Japanese food for the soul. It's cheap, quick, and absolutely everywhere. But today we're gonna see just how far we can push a simple onigiri. We're gonna start with the $1 standard rice ball and then move up to a mid-tier rice ball. And finally, we're going to try something that may not have ever been done before, a $100 rice ball. Wow, that's the biggest rice ball I've ever seen in my life. It's not even a ball anymore. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe for more Japan adventures like this one. And don't forget to check out byfood.com to book a restaurant, food tour, or even a cooking class next time you're in Japan. All right, let's go try out some delicious onigiri. Let's go! First up, I'm in Shinjuku Station right next to the Keio line to try a rice ball chain that can be found pretty much anywhere in Tokyo, and that's right here behind me. It's called Omusubi Gonbei. Omusubi Gonbei actually increased their locations to around 51 locations since it first opened in 1991. So they've been around for a little while now. And apparently they even have a couple locations in France and the US, which I did not know. So if any of you have ever seen Omusubi Gonbei, please let me know. I'm really curious to know how well known it is abroad. But this is a really classic rice ball chain. They have really great classic flavors and healthy options because they also include ginmai, which is brown rice. The idea behind Gonbei was very simple. They apparently wanted to support local Japanese farmers by bringing rice back to the center of everyday meals, which is important because there had been a long time trend of more Western foods coming into Japanese cuisine, which is also great and delicious, but a lot of breakfast started to include bread. So I think it actually makes sense that they wanted to make rice the star of the show again to support farmers. So really great concept. Let's go give it a try and let's see how far about $1 will take us. Let's see what they've got. All right, I have got my omusubi. This is what I decided on. Okay, so I ended up with the wafu tuna mayonnaise, which is one of my favorite rice ball flavors. It's basically a little twist on the classic tuna mayo, where they make it Japanese style, meaning they add seasonings like soy sauce to give it that kind of classic Japanese flavor. So this one actually goes for 200 yen, which is about $1.30 USD at this current exchange rate. But they do actually have a 130 yen rice ball option, which converts to about 85 cents in US dollars, which is very affordable. And that's the ginmai rice ball, which is just plain brown rice ball, and I assume seasoned with salt, which is a classic way to eat a rice ball. But I like my fancy flavors, so I leveled it up just ever so slightly, but I'd say it still counts within the dollar range. This one was a little bit more expensive at 330 yen because you get a whole egg in there, and it's pretty hefty. That's a great size. I want to mention one last thing. I realized that this shop is called Omusubi Gonbei. This is actually another way to say onigiri. So onigiri and omusubi are the exact same word. It's just kind of a regional difference. So some people say omusubi, some people say onigiri. Onigiri actually comes from the word nigiru, which means to squeeze something in your hands. And that's how you make them. You squeeze the rice. Omusubi, musubu actually means to bring together. So you're kind of bringing the rice together in your hands. Both are very similar meanings and just sounds really nice. So yeah, that's why I say onigiri, and sometimes I feel inclined to say omusubi. So I might interchange. Anyway, let's try this tuna mayo omusubi, Japanese style. Classic, but delicious. It's actually not heavy on the mayo whatsoever. It actually has a wonderful umami to it, which is that traditional Japanese flavor. I wouldn't be surprised if they mixed in some bonito flakes in here to give it that umami, rich Japanese flavor. If you want something a little bit unique and Japanese, this is a really good one to try. One of my faves. And the rice, by the way, very, very fluffy, delicious flavor. It's simple, but just one of those things that people in Japan love. It's a taste of home for them. Obviously a good farmer's rice. All right, let's try the egg one. There it is. That's pretty good. This is a very filling rice ball. The egg is delicious. You can tell that it's been marinated in probably soy sauce, maybe mirin. Those are kind of classic condiments to do Japanese cooking. The egg yolk is also really soft, a little bit more hard-boiled than a typical jammy egg. It's a little bit solidified, but really soft and tender. Great flavor in the egg. The rice is a tad sweet for my taste, I will say. It's like a soy sauce and sugar kind of taste. I would prefer it to be a little bit more salty to go really well with the egg. But the contrast is also kind of nice. Anyway, I'm actually gonna finish this off And I'm still gonna go continue to eat onigiri after this. We're gonna go to a mid-price range onigiri shop that is also in Shinjuku. So I'll see you guys over there. So some of you OGs might remember that we featured a legendary rice ball shop on this channel a few years ago called Onigiri Bongo. Well, our next stop of the day is called Onigiri Mama, and it's right behind me here. It opened in 2023, and apparently the owner actually used to work at Onigiri Bongo. So I hear that he learned a wealth of onigiri making experience, so I'm pretty sure we can see a few similarities between the restaurants. Everything's also made fresh to order, so you'll get some piping hot, fresh rice balls that are a far cry from your standard convenience store cold rice balls. So I'm really excited to try them. Let's go inside and give it a try. I'm so excited. We are now inside. We've got a seat at the little bar counter. It's a really cozy little shop. These are some of their classic rice balls. They look so good. These are classic flavors. Some of their most popular menu items are these, of course, tuna mayo. And then we have egg yolk with soboro, with ground beef that's been marinated. Usually it's kind of a sweet and savory flavor. So lots of delicious things to choose from. And when I mean a lot, there's a lot. These are all of the toppings you can choose from. And you can even do flavor combos. So you can pick a base and then choose a topping for like an extra 150. Luckily, they have a ranking of like most popular items. So this is the recent popular best 10 list. And this is the owner's personal top 10 list. So I thought I'd maybe try picking from this list today. This one stands out to me. I really liked spicy quadro mayo cream cheese, and they also have that here, but the chef recommends adding pepperoncino flavor. So I think that's a really unique combo. Don't know how you can put pepperoncino, which is a pasta. And for the customers ranking, I think this one looks really unique. Maguro kakuni, which is like stewed chunks of tuna with hatogarashi, which is like a leaf pepper. I've never had it before, but I'm assuming like chunks of stewed tuna is gonna be super good with a little bit of spice. So let's try one of each of those. Here it is, my two onigiri. They are plump. There's a lot of rice in there. They're also nice and warm, which is great. You can see the cream cheese on this one. And I guess this is the pepperoncino filling. So I think it's like a grated peppers sauce. This one, you can see the tuna chunk, and this would be the hatogarashi. You can also get a miso soup set, and apparently it's free refills of miso soup. That's amazing. I think I want to start with the cream cheese pepperoncino. Actually, the bottom is piping hot. The rice comes directly out of the rice cooker, so it's super, super fresh. I think we'll just have to go in and take a big bite. It's a little messy to eat, but that is excellent. Wow, that is so good. I love the flavor combo. Of course, cream cheese goes really well with spicy quadro. Spicy quadro is a little bit spicy, so the cream cheese kind of offsets it, adds some creaminess, mellows it out, and then the pepperoncino sauce is very good. And it goes together so well. Not super spicy, but just a light peppery spice overall. This would make for a hearty breakfast or lunch even. I just noticed something. There's actually sausage in it. There's little chunks of sausage, little pieces of what look like lettuce. It's kind of like a pepperoncino pasta base without the noodles. But that's probably the most interesting thing about this onigiri. That's crazy. So creative. Thumbs up from me. Let's try the next one. Ooh, that's a totally different flavor. The tuna is sweet with a little hint of spice. I can't tell if the spice is coming from the tuna itself or from the spicy leaves that are in here. They're not chili pepper type of spice. Just a hint of spice. And overall, it's a very Japanese flavor. So the one that I just had a moment ago is a little bit more of a Western Italian style flavor. This one is traditional Japanese flavors. But personally, I think the previous one was my favorite. They're both really good though. All in all, I would say this shop makes you feel that rice balls are actually not just a snack, but a real meal. You get a meal's worth of rice with your rice ball for sure. So definitely come by here for lunch or breakfast. It does open really early, so you can get breakfast here in the morning. But anyway, now it's time for me to test the limits of onigiri by going to find a $100 rice ball. All right, we are now in Sangenjaya, and it has unfortunately started raining, but I'm here to check out a restaurant that we've actually visited before, and it's right here. It's called Shabu Shima Tokyo, and they're known for their all-you-can-eat Wagyu hot pot and their all-you-can-eat pork shabu shabu hot pot. And we've actually filmed here before for our Tabe Hodai all-you-can-eat video. So if you're interested in seeing all of the all-you-can-eats that I did that day, make sure to check out that video at the end of this one. But today we are here for a very exclusive collaboration that we've done with this restaurant to create a byFood original onigiri. This onigiri is very premium. It is loaded with A5 grade Wagyu beef, and there's going to be a lot of volume, meaning that this rice ball will probably be a whole meal. So this is a very, very fancy onigiri that you can only get here, and you can only book it on the byFood website in advance. And it should be worth about $100. So I'm very excited to see how it turned out and what a $100 rice ball is going to look like.
本日ご予約いただいております和牛のおにぎりをご用意をさせていただきます。
すごーありがとうございます Wow, that's the biggest rice ball I've ever seen in my life. It's not even a ball anymore. It's kind of oblong.
特別な肉巻きおにぎりになってまして、国産の和牛ですね、A5 ランクのサーロインを使って、中に牛そぼろをですね、醤油ベースのもので味付けした牛そぼろと、国産牛の本日佐賀牛なんですけども、A5 ランクのサーロインをこう肉巻きにして、で特製割り下で少しこうお肉を味付けしております。で上からトリュフと金箔をご用意してまして、サイドディッシュですね、唐揚げと本日はちょっとたくあんをご用意しております。
じゃあ楽しみにいただきます。ありがとうございます。It is a massive onigiri, and it's been sliced up into something that's a little bit more bite-sized. But basically it feels like a whole bunch of onigiri in one. And that makes it much better value, I would say. The meat looks incredibly juicy and tender. There's a generous serving of truffles, and a little bit of gold makes it feel kind of fancy. And I do love the Japanese side dishes as well. So it feels like the traditional Japanese bento, but just with more volume. And in this case, it's a nikumaki onigiri, which means a meat-wrapped rice ball. It is a very popular type of rice ball, actually. Without further ado, itadakimasu! Oh my gosh. Oh wait, that is really tasty. The Wagyu is so melty. It's got this wonderful, slightly sweet tare sauce, which is used for sukiyaki. The beef is really tasty. The truffles add a little bit of fragrance to it, and the soboro on the inside is also really good. So the soboro in Japanese is minced meat, and it usually has a sweet and savory seasoning to it as well. Oh, that is so good. It's so tender. I've only had like 3 slices, but to be honest, I'm already getting quite full. So you do get a ton of volume. It is kind of like a beef bowl, donburi style, but in the shape of a rice ball. So basically what I'm trying to say is it is a rice ball, onigiri, that is also kind of like a beef bowl. So they sound very similar. But I would recommend this as maybe a sharing food because it definitely is a lot of volume, but if you're very hungry. But you can also slice it up and share it with your friends, and I think that would be a fun way to try it out if you want to try something very unique and unusual, because you cannot find this fancy, large of an onigiri, I think, anywhere in Japan. If you can, please let me know where it is, because I don't know where that is. But it is very, very rare. So anyway, this has been a very good experience. I was able to try a wide range of onigiri today. So please let me know in the comments down below what you think about this experiment. And please let me know which onigiri I tried today that you would be most interested in trying. And if you are interested in trying this one, it is available to book on the byFood website. The link will be down below or on the screen here somewhere. And just a caveat that if you do want to order this one, you have to book it at least 2 days in advance so that they can prepare it, because it's very special. And they do need to get the Wagyu, the fancy Wagyu in. And if you also just want to come to this great restaurant for all-you-can-eat hot pot, you can absolutely do that too. The links will also be down below and on the screen. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This was such a fun day, and we're gonna finish off this massive onigiri with the team, today. So see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys soon in another one. Bye! If you enjoyed this adventure, click the photos on the left for more fun Japan videos and click the one on the right to book the restaurant we featured today. Bye!